Hello, welcome to Old Virginia Homes. This video might give you deja vu, or it might be new to you. I've posted this before in a different iteration, but when I look back at some of my earlier videos, like the previous version of this one, I cringe. I've learned some things along the way and felt like I should repackage this one, including better sound quality and some additional details and images. So if you've been lucky enough to see my early video of Lucky Hit with my really awkward introduction and really bad audio, feel free to move along. If not, I hope you enjoy visiting this federal plantation house built in 1791 by Colonel Richard Kidder Meade, who was an aide-de-camp, a personal assistant to George Washington during the Revolutionary War. Join me as we visit Lucky Hit, an Old Virginia home in White Post. Let's go. Colonel Richard Kidder Meade named this 800-acre property Lucky Hit because he had purchased the land sight unseen and considered himself lucky to have acquired such a beautiful and eventually bountiful property. He purchased the original 800 acres in 1783. The land at that time was forested and even swampy here and there, and it took some time to turn it into the fertile farmland it became. When he first moved here, he and his family lived in a 1.5-story log dwelling named Medea, a play on his own surname. Bishop William Meade, who was Colonel Meade's son and a noted 19th century Episcopal bishop of Virginia who grew up at Lucky Hit, wrote about his father's move from Tidewater, Virginia in his book, Old Churches, Ministers, and Families of Virginia. Here's what he had to say. Gathering up what little remained of money and a very few servants, he removed to the rich and beautiful Valley of Frederick, lying between the Blue Ridge and Allegheny Mountains. The whole county was little else than a forest at that time. For a small sum, he purchased a farm with 2 unfinished logged rooms around which the wolves nightly howled. Construction of Colonel Meade's large Federal-style home began in 1791, but probably took several years to complete. It may have been the first brick mansion in the area. Other houses tended to be built of stone, and this house is particularly distinctive for having 5 bays on both its facade and its ends. In 1794, this ad for a horse, sold by Colonel Meade, was placed in a local newspaper. 1794 was also the year that Meade added acreage to his farm, so that it encompassed more than 1,000 acres at one point in time. The house is a double pile, meaning 2 rooms deep, central passage plan, with broad interior end chimneys that support 8 fireplaces. In the 1940s, the west wing was added, a 2-story, 3-bay addition with a recessed portico. This addition houses a modern kitchen, garage, and upstairs bedroom. The house is entered through a pair of 3-paneled wooden doors topped by a 5-light rectangular transom. The staircase has 2 square balusters per tread and a simple scroll carving beneath each tread. Much of the original Federal woodwork remains, and the detailing shows a tastefully restrained sophistication. There's also a delightful variety of early hardware remaining in the house. Rim locks, strap hinges, interesting latches. The original summer kitchen is a 1.5-story brick gable-roofed structure over a stone foundation. The exterior end chimney is roughly coursed fieldstone with the stack laid in brick. The second story would have housed enslaved workers. Meade and his wife, Mary Fitzhugh Grimes Randolph, raised a large family here before Meade died in 1805. Their son, Bishop William Meade, recalls the last meeting of his father with George Washington, saying, "They met in one of the fields, near a pair of drawbars. Each, recognizing the other, dismounted and shook hands over them, the general insisting that he would pull down his own bars, and my father saying that he would be his aide still." Speaking of Colonel Meade's son, Bishop William Meade, it's worth a visit to Old Chapel, which is also located in Clarke County, one of the earliest Episcopal church buildings west of the Blue Ridge Mountains. Bishop William Meade began his ecclesiastical career here as a lay reader. He later became a prominent Episcopal bishop. This beautiful stone building was built in 1793, replacing a log church built in 1747, which stood nearby. This graveyard is one of my favorite graveyards, holding the tombs of many distinguished old Tidewater, Virginia family members. Randolph, Burrell, Carter, Page, Nelson, and more. Bishop Meade also expected to be buried here, but he died in Richmond, Virginia, and was buried at Hollywood Cemetery. Later, his remains were moved to the cemetery at the Virginia Theological Seminary in Alexandria. Bishop Meade wrote about attending this church as a boy. "My earliest recollections of the church are derived from visits while yet a child to the old stone chapel in Frederick County, then the backwoods of Virginia, either on horseback behind my father or with my mother and the children in my grandmother's English chariot, drawn by 4 work horses in farming gear, richer gear having failed with failing fortunes. My father took an active part in the erection of this house, which was about 7 miles distant from his residence. It was here that I officiated during the first 25 years of my ministry." Lucky Hitt left the Meade family in the late 19th century. In 1947, it was purchased by Andrew Mackay-Smith, a well-known horseman who was a successful author and scholar of equestrian sports. It was Mackay-Smith who renovated the home for 20th century living. Thank you for visiting Lucky Hitt with me, an old Virginia home.